What are you cooking today, Miss Martha? Well, it's Valentine's Day is right upon us here, and I'm making my chocolate assassin pound cake with marshmallow drizzle. It's got count them, six kinds of chocolate in it. We're using 46% German chocolate, 56% semi-sweet chocolate, and 100% unsweetened chocolate cacao. I've also got Hershey's unsweetened cocoa powder, Hershey's hot fudge, sundae topping, and peanut butter and chocolate. What I've got to do first to get started here is, the whole point of baking, if I'm going to cut my oven on, I'm not just going to cook one little thing in it. I'm using the same electricity. I'm going to make enough cakes to share. So I'm going to get 1 pound cake pan full, and I'll get 2 to share bundt pans full. So to make that much batter, and that all will fit in the oven for 1 bake. To make that much batter, it's not all going to fit in. I don't have a professional grade KitchenAid, this one, so when I'm doing the recipe, I've got to split it up so I've got 2 batches worth. And then I'll put that all together and I'll divide that among the 3 pans based upon the size and proportions of the pan that's going to be baking the cake in. I've also got to grease and flour, prep the pans, preheat my oven, and then I'll take the chocolate over here. For every bar of chocolate I have, I need 1/3 cup of water. These I'll cut into pieces and I'm going to put them in my little saucepan over there. Look, take it to the stove top. I'm going to melt that down. Then I'm going to turn the heat off once it's melted. And I'm going to stir in the peanut butter to it, and then I'll pick back up with you guys, and we'll start rocking and rolling with the rest of the recipe. Go get a cup of coffee. You don't want to miss this one. Chocolate Assassin Pound Cake. Oh, it's to die for. I mean, come on. It's chocolate. It's going to be good. Hang in there. Okay, I've melted my chocolate. See? Okay, I'm going to add into this the jar of the chocolate peanut butter. Make sure the burner's turned off and set this aside and let this cool, and we'll put back over the cake ingredients. Okay, got everything proportioned out here. In the mixer stand right here, I already have my margarine and my sugars, and I have for the second being over here. I have the eggs and the sour cream. Repeat for over there. I have the melted chocolate mixture here with the chocolate peanut butter in it, and then I have my flour, my Hershey's cocoa powder, baking soda, baking powder, salt. That will go in, and the last thing will be the vanilla. And then I'll take that out of this bowl, move it to another bowl so I can have my mixer bowl, and I'll make the second batch up. And even though all things equivalent, I'm not a Mary Berry British way things are digital scale baker, so I've got to mix both bowls back together. So the cakes will be equal when I divide it into the 3 pans. I'll start mixing now. In the interest of time, you've seen me bake pound cakes before. I'll pick back up in a little bit. Eggs and sour cream are going in. Pound cakes are a gradual process. You can dump it all in together because it'll be a hard, dense cake. You want it to be light and moist cake. So it takes time, it takes love. I'll pick back up in a little bit. Okay. My chocolate of the chocolate assassin is going in. Once again, this takes time. Flour mixture's going in. When this gets all the way in, incorporate it. I'll add the 2 teaspoons of vanilla. All the proportions of the ingredient will be listed in the description of Miss Martha Loves to Cook on my YouTube digital cookbook. I'm going to get the flour in this one, then we'll go round 2 on the cake batter. Vanilla's going in. Set this aside for the next batch. pretty bad. All right, here's what I want to show you. Obviously, oh, did I tell you we're using the paddle? You can't use the whisk when you're doing pound cake. It's too thick of a batter. You gotta use your paddle attachment. Where's my big spoon at? Here we go. You test if your pound cake batter. Get your spoonful. You turn it upside down, and you better hold on your spoon. You know you got a good pound cake. Still holding. Still holding. Okay. We're going to switch and repeat what we've just done here, and then we're going to put it in the prepared pans. Obviously, I've mentioned before, showed you before, you grease them with Crisco, and then dust them with all-purpose flour. We'll pick back up in a little bit. Round 1 is out of pan. Started in the mixer with round 2. Butter and sugar. Then we'll move down the assembly line and get that ready. Then we'll pan them up, put them in the oven. Okay, second batch of the Chocolate Assassin pound cake mix is ready. So I will put that off. Plug that there. I will mix the two together in one bowl because, like I said, you know, make sure all my proportions are equal, scientifically equal, and then we'll divide it among our 3 pans over there. All right, it's a matter just of dividing the cake mix among the pans until you got to have at least an inch on the smaller pan, 1.5 inches on the larger pan, because it's going to rise up and you don't want it to overflow and spill all over to the bottom of your oven and cause burnt fire alarm off in your house. So I'm gonna get this into the pans, and then if you notice, I've got my ingredients over here. I've got to make my, while the cakes are baking, I'll make my marshmallow fluff icing for it. The reason I left the boil out is because I've got to melt the marshmallows in the double boil over there. So save time on the video. I'm gonna get me some Diet Pepsi. You know, being a chocolate assassin is hard work. Oh, so much. You know, I need grandkids so bad. I need to rent some grandkids because there have been so many spoons and beaters and bowls around here. And my husband, my son, all working in Cape Charles. They're 45 minutes away. I can't sit here and lick all these bowls and spoons and batters and whatever over here because, you know, I'd weigh 400 pounds. Who wants to loan me their grandkids for an afternoon when I'm baking? Sign up on Facebook. Oven is preheated 300 degrees. Obviously, the smaller cakes are going to be ready. They're going to cook faster than the larger cake. I'm aiming for an hour and a half on the larger cake, maybe an hour, 10 minutes on the smaller cake. I will check at 1 hour with the toothpick. You go in about 1 inch into it and pull it out, and it needs to be not gooiness, too much gooiness. You're going to have a little slight gooey because people that love my pound cakes, they like that little underbaked edge on it, and that's a talent to get that without the whole cake concaving in on you, is to have a little bit of underbake in it. So, I'm full of flour today. I'll put the cakes in the oven and we'll pick back up on how to make the frosting. Okay, I got 2 10-ounce bags of miniature marshmallows in here, 1 stick of margarine, 2 cups of heavy cream, and a dash of salt. And this has got to go over to the stove on low heat, stirring constantly till all of the marshmallows melt so that they don't stick. I'll bring it back over here, stick it on a cutting board or something so that it doesn't burn my countertop. And I'll mix in, I'll keep mixing in powdered sugar until I get it the consistency that I want. Thicker than pancake mix, not as thick as cupcake frosting, because I still want it to drizzle over the cake. I can't use it on the cake at all until the cake is cooled completely or just run all off the edges. So when my cake's finished baking, I'll take them out and let them cool on a wire rack. I'll dump it out the pan. I'll let them finish cooling. I'll drizzle them with this, and then I will do as the instructions say on the side of the hot fudge here in the microwave. Let it cool for a second, and then with a little spoon, just a little bit for artistic Jackson Pollock-like on top of the marshmallow fluff frosting, so it look real pretty, like a tiger, black and white, zebra. Zebras are black and white. What is it? Oh, Miss Brothers. So much going on in the kitchen today. If you really wanted it special for Valentine's Day, you could get some fresh strawberries and you could put those around the top of the cake. It looks really, really pretty, but guess what? I don't like chocolate covered strawberries. I don't want fresh fruit on top of my cake, so I'm not putting it on my cake. I'm just telling you, optionally, that looks really pretty, especially if you're just cooking for some kind of Pinterest pictures and stuff like that, Instagram feed. I cook to feed bellies with love so that they just are full of joy for at least a moment while they're eating it. And then they'll have joyful memories for a lifetime back on my mama or my aunt or my neighbor, whatever my relationship is to them. when Miss Martha cooked them something special. So I can't go anywhere till I wash some dishes. So I gotta wash dishes, then I'll pick back up with you guys on doing the icing. This is when you miss having grandkids too. You can put them to work and make it lick the bowl, but then they gotta help you wash the dishes. I need some grandkids. Somebody tell Robert Jr. to get busy with that. No pressure on him. I want him married with someone that he loves for a lifetime. I've been married 33 years. We don't want you to just rush into a marriage. You want to know it's the one. I'm going to melt the marshmallows over here, and then we're going to pick back up over there, and we're going to beat in the 10x sugar for the frosting. And I still got 30 minutes or more on the cake to bake, so I'll probably fold clothes, take the dogs out to walk. I ain't got to the frosting yet. The two smaller cakes are out, the larger cake's still in there. Because Miss Martha did what I told y'all not to do. I put a little bit too much batter in one of the cake pans and bubbled over a little bit. So I had to run the fan, had smoke everywhere. I'm going to do the frosting now. I've got to finish melting the marshmallows, and then we'll bring it over and we'll add the powdered sugar to it. Okay, all my marshmallows have melted. This is just marshmallows, heavy cream, and a stick of butter. Let it cool just for a minute, then I'll put it in the bowl where I can whip it with the powdered sugar. I don't want my glass bowl to break. Okay, I'm going to keep adding some powdered sugar a little time until I get it the consistency that I want it. I don't usually, but because it's right here Valentine's Day, I'm going to add some red food color to it. We'll pick back up. Okay, that's my chocolate assassin pound cake. One's finished, got another one to ice, and the large one's still in the oven. But that's all the time I have for recording today. I got to take the dogs out, got stuff I got to do. So, happy Valentine's Day to you. Get yourself some chocolate. Thank you for watching.